Right around the corner for a lot of families, wine is an important part of the big meal.
But how do you really choose what will pair well with turkey and the stuffing and everything else that's on the table? It is the latest topic for the Three on Your Side podcast, and Susan Campbell is joining us now with a preview.
This one made me hungry. I am already dreaming of that meal. So, of course, it is one of the biggest meals of the year, and there are always a ton of flavors on the plate. That can make it challenging to pick out a wine, especially if you're taking it to someone's house and want to impress them. So for our podcast, we chatted with Keith Beavers. He's been in the wine and restaurant industry in New York City for years, and he is a self-described wine geek. One of the first questions, Gary Harper and I asked him, what do you actually look for in a perfect Thanksgiving wine, starting with red?
Not a ton of oak exposure, not a very high alcohol content, and a good amount of acidity. Meaning that the red wine is on your palate and you're tasting the fruit and you're tasting all the whatever depth the wine has, but there's an active acidity to it, a natural acidity that lifts the wine up in the palate and doesn't allow the wine to overwhelm your palate.
Let's talk about the price point. Does it really matter or is there a big difference, I guess, between a $10 bottle of wine and a $20 bottle of wine, or am I wasting $10 because it's going to be pretty similar?
Ooh, that's a good one. $20 bottle of wine is going to be somewhat more balanced than a $10 bottle of wine. $10 bottles of wine from Europe are going to have you have more of a guarantee that there's going to be quality in that lower price point.
Our latest podcast will go live soon. You'll hear the truth about screw tops versus corks, why you don't have to break the budget to get a great wine, and the type of wine to look for if you want to actually splurge a little bit. So you can get our Three on Your Side podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. This was one of the most fun ones we did because it's one of those topics that you want to learn a lot about, and there's a true science that goes into wine. So,
did you drink while you did the podcast?
No, we were good. But it did make me want to go shopping.
Gary was a different story.
No comment.
Susan, thank you.